It's the next day, and this time, the master goes all out in leveling up a bunch of essential buildings in the lobby, especially the training center which has now doubled in size. It seems the master put on some whale daddy pants, and the players, along with Isol, are left astonished. Then, he opens up the summoning gate, and a pool of 10 new heroes are summoned. This sets the tune for the next coming chapters, as the lobby is now flooded with more resources, and so, Han and Isol waste no time in giving orders immediately to the new players. Isol is seen fixing them into different positions based on their inherent skills. This, as they see it, is now their new reality, and maybe one day, it may become something like Niflheim. So the new members were all given roles, some carpenters, some cooks, and others combat players. Without wasting any time, Isol yells at the combat players to go into the dungeon fields. Men, Isol, at least ease them onto the fact that they'll probably die. This manhwa is brutal. The door closes, and immediately, we get notifications of each of the new players dying, one by one. It's terrifying. But, we also find out that only 2 newbies survive this round. The rest of them are terrified to go into the fields, but then, we see as Eren volunteers to guide them through the stage, to reduce casualties. He's allowed, but Han warns him not to make them depend on him, so as not to set a bad precedence. A few moments later, we see as Eren strolls out with the rest of the group, and, a notification for, stage cleared. It seems Eren only killed 1 beast, but, he still assisted others, and, Han is pleased. That night, they celebrated in the new kitchen with some nice food from the chef, and Jenna is seen encouraging everyone, saying that they shouldn't be scared or unsettled, and that if they train hard enough in the lobby they'll survive. It was a bountiful evening. From the second day, things start to change. 3 of the newly summoned heroes join Han on the training field. Han is relentless with his training as usual, but it's natural, as the rookies still have a long way to go. Also, it's shown that Jenna and Eren aren't left out of the training either. A few days later, the master summons 10 more players, and this time Eren and the other 3 handled the job process. Things improve this time, as they only lose 1 person in the tinning process. Then, Han and Jenna are seen having a conversation, and Jenna is asking why the master isn't going into the 5th stage, because it's been a while, and they've been only attempting the 4th stage. Han explains to her that the difficulty level from every 5 stages is always outrageous, so, the master is trying to be prepared before attempting it so he doesn't lose his heroes. It's been a few more days. We see as Han and Jenna are attempting the 4th floor again, but are with the newbies this time. Han is seen supervising the newbies in this trial with the intent to help build their battle senses. It took a while, but they managed to pull through and are excited, and we see as Han and Jenna are pleased. Recently, the time that the master is logged off has increased a lot, and so in the second 10 pull, they gained a blacksmiths, as well as a tanner, and have began to produce equipment, but, they mostly create low-grade equipments, which were given to the new heroes and it helped increase the chances of survival by a lot. Although, for the main party, higher quality equipments were given. Also, 3 people who weren't active were synthesized. Which, still doesn't sit well with me but, never mind. Finally, after many days of training, it's time to attempt the 5th floor, and Han, Jenna, and Eren, go along with 2 other newbies into the portal. They finally appear in the dungeon. It appears they are in the middle of a wrecked town, but, with no monster in sight. The city is empty and it has no monsters or civilians in sight. Suddenly, one of them screams, as he noticed a dead skeleton on the ground, and it's frightening. Han then asked Jenna to climb to a high place, and scout the city, to decipher what's going on. She climbs up a high building, and to her surprise, Jenna freezes. She is too scared to mount the image of what she sees. Jenna takes a second look, and, we find out that there is a horde of over 1,000 goblins heading their way, and they have no way out to escape. The display reads, the theme for the 5th trial is survival, and they have to survive a horde of goblins for a maximum time of 30 minutes. Eren is unsettled at the new development, but, Han is able to calm him, and says that all they have to do is survive till the time limit. So, they are moving around, and Han tries to hide inside a house, but, it seems they don't have access into any building. It's a kill or be killed situation. The time is 30 minutes, but, the countdown has not started yet. It seems something needs to happen to trigger the countdown, but, the possibility of surviving in a survival mission is very slim. Han finally decides on a spot for the team to settle, and Han is seen giving instructions for them to build a wall to protect them from the goblins. Quickly, they try to build a wall before a goblin appears, and everyone is extremely tensed up. The timer will start the moment they face a goblin. Then, Han looks to his right, and a goblin is spotted. This finally triggers the event, and the timer immediately starts. Survive the horde of goblins, or risk imminent death at their hands. The plan, for Han, is to make a wall with their corpses, and death is not an option. Han has a passive skill he unlocked from synthesis. It's called composure. It's a skill that enables him to be calm in any situation and make rational decisions. We see as Han is calm as he gives orders to his team. He plans to rotate the attack time of the heroes to save their energy, as it's a survival mission. But even with that, their numbers remain disgusting and frightening. The goblins are swarming from every corner, and the team is doing their best to survive. Han plans to rotate the attack time of each player because he's worried for their stamina. He tries to kill each of them by only dealing one slash per goblin to maximize his stamina. But the goblins are way too fucking much, and their numbers doesn't seem to dwindle. Switch again, Han gives the order. Han instructs Jenna to kill off the goblins that cross over, but to gather her arrows back as well. Eren is unsettled and feels like the trial is taking forever and the goblins just keep coming. Jenna is still seen rotating her attack at the goblins and retrieving her arrows. Then, suddenly, one of the newbies gets attacked, and is seriously injured. Han instructs the other newbie not to jump to his aid, but instead, he should take his spot in battle, as they don't have the space for compassion now. It's an intense battle. Han as the leader needs to be calm, and make quick decisions so they can make it out alive. He then kicks at the already bleeding newbie, and screams at him to pull himself together, which was a very gruesome sight. Han then instructs Jenna to help stop the newbies bleeding, because they still need to switch in battle. The battle doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon, as the horde of goblins are still pushing forward. Han then switches between the newbies again, so Hansen can sharpen his already blunted sword. Just for context, the newbies are called Guide and Hansen. The battle goes on, and even Jenna and Eren switch out and rotate from time to time. The time limit is remaining just 3 minutes, but 3 minutes can feel like forever in a survival situation like this. The teams are switching and switching because even 10 seconds is very crucial for rest. Han instructs Jenna to shoot arrows by the newbies' side to provide a little support for them. Then, Guide, once again, receives another attack from the goblins, and it's a vital organ. Jenna immediately kills off the goblin and runs to Guide for support. But Guide is already on the brink of death, and his life is in danger. The situation isn't looking good and Jenna has no idea what to do. At this point, Han is just trying to survive. Guide is unable to withstand the pain, and they lose him in battle. He'll be remembered. Suddenly, at the climax of it all, the innate skills and abilities of the heroes awakens, but then, Hansen, the other newbie in battle, is stabbed, bleeding, and is unable to fight anymore. Inevitably, Hansen is also lost to the goblins' wrath on the battlefield. It's dawning, as Han, along with Jenna and Eren, run to a different location. Han noticed a little space behind them, and tells Jenna to go climb there. More goblins are approaching, but Han is able to slice through them to buy time for Jenna. Jenna quickly climbs up, then Han jumps in hand as he shouts to Eren to jump to the top as well. But, as soon as Eren jumps, a goblin stabs through his leg, piercing his leg to the wall. Immediately Han jumps to the ground and kills the goblin. With no time to waste, Han results to forcefully cutting off Eren's legs so that Jenna can pull him up, saying that he'll heal in the lobby if they are able to survive eventually. Eventually they are able to climb up to the high side and are stabbing the goblins from the cliff. The goblins can't jump high, so they are shown climbing and stepping on themselves to be able to reach at the heroes. Jenna then loses the spare to the goblins, and is panicking as there are just way too many goblins left, and they still have 30 seconds left. 30 seconds at a time like this feels like a moment between life and death in this situation. The goblins, in the midst of the chaos, then grab hold, and yanks off Han's shield from him, and Han, about to attack in retaliation, is stabbed by the goblin. Han is in a terrible state now, and he might possibly bleed to death. But more importantly, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Han was stabbed, Jenna was stabbed as well, and Eren has lost his leg. The team is in a state of despair, and Han begins to feel numb to the situation, and thinks that at this point, he might just die here. Suddenly, Han is able to regain himself again and is filled with rage, and is more willing to survive than ever. Han suddenly gets a burst of energy, and cuts through the goblins like butter, and Han is seen laying waste to all the goblins. We are shown that as Han was faced with a near-death situation, Han awakens a new skill. Berserk. The goblins are terrified at this, and Jenna is a bit unsettled. Han just pulled a Hagoromo Otsutsuki on himself, and with the Berserker skill, he finally has the strength to kill multiple goblins at once, as the clock is slowly ticking. Suddenly, his sword shatters in battle, but he still forges ahead at the goblins without a single thought. Then, finally, the time limit for the 5th floor is exhausted, and the horde of goblins as we know it slowly fade. The team is immediately transported back to the game lobby and are congratulated by the system on their heroic display. Our heroes barely made it out alive, but somehow, they survived the trial. It's only sad that Hansen and Guide didn't live to tell their story, as they were lost in battle. Alright guys, I'll stop here. Thanks for watching the video. This is probably my longest video ever, and it was really draining to make, but I really find this manhwa very interesting and it's unlike any manhwa I've ever read. Please share the video to your friends, and also, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Alright then, it's Blue Melon here. I hope you have a great day. Peace.